The movie starts with Michael staring at the beautiful colors in the sky. Suddenly, he hears a gunshot and a woman screaming. Then he wakes up. That night, Michael goes to the casino where he has worked for 3 months. By now, he knows the entire layout and where every camera is. He has also made friends with the employees by learning what they like and their daily habits. He even knows the regular customers well. Because he is a good employee, he gets to serve VIP clients and sometimes overhears secret information. After his shift ends, Michael takes off the fake features he wears on his face to hide his identity. It turns out he is a con man. He has been working at the casino to collect insider information. After 3 months of preparation, he is finally ready to make his move. Wearing a new disguise, he enters the casino and uses his phone to activate a hidden device. It makes cards fly out of a shuffling machine, causing a distraction. Then he goes to a table where he uses special magnetic dice to win, since he installed a hidden button earlier that lets him change the results. Next, he sneaks into the room of a VIP client. The man is fast asleep because Michael secretly put a sedative in his drink during his shift. Because of the chaos with the flying cards, the VIP players will be moved to a private room. Michael uses this chance to steal the man's gold pass and expensive clothes. He then rushes to the service elevator and inserts his own chip into the control panel. An employee carrying a box of new playing cards sees him, so Michael pretends to be lost and complains as if he were a VIP. The employee believes him and offers to take him to the right floor using the service elevator. Michael uses his phone again to stop the elevator and turn off the lights. While the employee calls for help, Michael secretly swaps the box of new cards with his own, which he hid there earlier. After a while, he turns the power back on and enters the VIP room, sitting at the main table with Alex. Michael wears special sunglasses that let him see the hidden numbers on the modified cards he brought. As the game starts, he makes sure not to win every round so that others don't get suspicious. This also encourages the players to bet more money. But suddenly, without him noticing, his cards change. Feeling confident, he bets all the money he has won so far. The other players do the same. Smug, he is shocked when he loses. His cards are not the same ones he had before. Another player wins the entire pot and leaves the game. Suspicious, Michael follows the winner down the corridor and takes the suitcase from him, only to find it filled with random papers. Suddenly, the lights flicker and the man's face changes, revealing that he isn't the real winner. At that moment, security guards arrive and capture him while Alex escapes unnoticed. Michael is tied to a chair in a storage room. A guard punches him before the casino owner, Victor, demands to know where the money is. When Michael tries to pass himself off as a VIP client, he gets punched again. Desperate, he explains that a different con man took the money, but Victor doesn't believe him. He gives Michael 1 week to return the money, or there will be terrible consequences. Michael then travels to an exclusive airborne casino in the middle of nowhere, where guards hold him at gunpoint. However, they step back when their boss, Leon, welcomes Michael as an old friend. Over drinks, Michael notices a necklace with a symbol matching Alex's tattoo. He asks about its meaning, but Leon insists Michael share his story first. Leon then explains that some people, such as psychics and witches, are born with the ability to dive into their consciousness, a special room that allows them to perform supernatural feats. In Alex's case, it seems he has the power to alter what other people see. Using an illustrated legend, Leon further explains that all of humanity is connected by a collective unconscious, which is the origin of myths. Those with special abilities can step beyond their individual consciousness and enter this collective space, similar to an alternate universe filled with infinite possibilities and mankind's cumulative knowledge. Normal people can enter this realm too, but they can't escape without a special amulet that acts as a compass. Michael laughs, refusing to believe any of this. Annoyed, Leon gives him a book containing a list of people with special abilities and tells him to find Alex alone. The next day, Alex meets with Gordon and hands over the money. Gordon then reveals he has a compass and asks Alex to teach him how to use the magic door. However, Alex refuses, explaining that he enjoys working with Gordon and doesn't want to lose him in that space. Gordon will need a trustworthy partner to help him navigate. Meanwhile, Michael asks Leon about the people on the list. Leon swears they are real. He has seen their powers firsthand. This gives Michael an idea. He can get the money back by hiring these gifted individuals to beat the casino. First, there's Eric, a rich kid with telekinesis who has no interest in working. Then there's Tony, a taxi driver who can control electronic devices. He mostly uses his ability for petty tricks. Michael visits both of them and easily convinces them to join his team to make a fortune. Next, there's Kevin, a hypnotist whose parents sent him to a mental institution. The doctors exploit his ability by having him program patients to cure their depression. Michael visits the institution and convinces Kevin to escape with him. When a nurse sees them trying to flee, Eric creates a distraction by making the other patients start a protest demanding better living conditions. While the patients block the nurse's path, Tony uses his power to steal an ambulance and open the security gate, allowing the group to escape. The following day, they practice using their powers to cheat at the casino and develop subtle hand signals for communication. Eric will use his telekinesis to control the dice. In his subconscious space, he imagines himself manually rolling them. Kevin will hypnotize employees and players, visualizing himself sculpting ice figures. Lastly, Tony will manage the surveillance systems. In his subconscious space, he envisions a storm with electronic chips floating around him. They play a few games with Leon's people, and at first it goes well, but soon it turns chaotic. While Kevin accidentally makes an employee blind, a client of Leon's freaks out when he loses and pulls out a gun. Tony gets scared and accidentally short-circuits the camera. Michael rushes to tackle the angry client and calms him down before deciding they'll need a better way to communicate. The next day, Michael attends a funeral where a group of grieving women harass Veronica, begging for her help. Suddenly, a car parks nearby and several men in black step out. A terrified Veronica runs away, dropping her headphones in the process, so Michael grabs them. When a second car with mysterious men arrives, Veronica hides inside an abandoned building and waits for them to leave. Then, Michael returns the headphones, assuring her he isn't one of those men. Veronica tries to leave without a word, but Michael follows her to ask some questions. However, Veronica can read minds and tells him she isn't interested in his plan. At that moment, one of the men finds them, and Michael holds him back while Veronica runs. The rest of the men corner her in an alley, but Michael appears on the roof and helps her escape. The next day, Gordon follows Alex's instructions to begin his training. A hypnotist finds him and quickly sends him into the world of the subconscious. While Gordon is unconscious on the ground, he forces a street painter to create a replica of a famous painting. Then he controls a museum employee, making him swap the fake painting for the real one. While the fake painting is taken away in a van, Gordon wakes up and buys the real artwork from the confused painter for just a few bucks. None of the people he controlled remember what happened. Back with Michael, he introduces Veronica to the rest of the group, explaining that she can read and transmit thoughts. She'll be relaying Michael's instructions while they play. To practice, Michael tells her to enter her subconscious space, which resembles a peculiar forest. Then he thinks about Eric moving the city's big bell, and Veronica transmits the message to Eric's mind. After Eric does so, Michael instructs two people to run while screaming for help, so Veronica sends that message to Kevin, who quickly executes it. Tony is told to short-circuit most of the lights in the area, scaring people and causing all the birds to fly away. Lastly, Michael asks Veronica to tell people on the street that an earthquake is coming. The people become convinced that an earthquake is actually happening. They flee until only Michael's team remains. Afterward, Michael steals some drinks from a restaurant while explaining his plan. They'll enter the casino with fake identities, each arriving at different times except for Veronica, who will pretend to be Michael's fiancée. This means they need to go shopping for fancy clothes and visit a stylist for a makeover. With only 2 days left, the team finally goes to the casino. Michael plays while Veronica acts as the passive trophy wife, allowing her to concentrate on transmitting messages. Tony manipulates the slot machines while also keeping an eye on the cameras. Eric joins Michael's opponents, deliberately making everyone else lose so Michael can win. Once he's won enough at this table, he and Veronica move to another, where Kevin controls the dealer. At first, the plan runs smoothly, but Eric drinks too much and grows tired of losing. He starts manipulating the roulette wheel to win money for himself and begins speaking to Michael aloud instead of sending thoughts. Meanwhile, Tony gets carried away and tries to control too many slot machines at once. The guards grow suspicious and detain Eric and Tony. As they're about to be taken away in an elevator, the rest of the team intercepts them. Kevin hypnotizes the guards, making them leave, and the team hides in the elevator to regroup. Michael scolds them for their recklessness, reminding them that cheating could get them killed. The team agrees to strictly follow Michael's instructions, then moves to the final table. Michael bets everything while Tony controls the cameras. Kevin manipulates the dealer, and Eric influences the dice. The plan works, and Michael wins $10 million. The group heads to the beach to celebrate with drinks and a bonfire, but Veronica sits apart from the others. Michael checks on her and suggests they work together a few more times to make even more money, but Veronica isn't interested. An argument breaks out, and they exchange insults. Meanwhile, Alex has dinner with Gordon and informs him that their lessons must be cancelled. Alex insists he can't continue teaching Gordon until he finds a partner. Gordon then asks about Michael, and Alex tells him about Michael's new team. Gordon is displeased and declares that they'll have to intervene. The next morning, the team is driving when an SUV suddenly begins chasing them. Tony tries to lose it, but a second SUV joins the pursuit. Within minutes, the SUVs surround them, forcing Tony to stop in the middle of the road. Victor steps out with his men, who capture the team and tie their wrists. Michael offers them the money, but Victor is now more interested in their abilities. Since Michael doesn't have any powers, he is taken to the edge of a cliff and shot, his body rolling down into the woods. The team is devastated and retreats into their subconscious spaces to grieve. What they don't know is that this is all a trick. Michael is alive and taken to see Gordon, who turns out to be his father. Gordon cuts the ropes binding his son's wrists, and Michael panics as he realizes his father has been behind everything all along. Gordon then reminds him that as a child they used to dream about finding the special door. And now Gordon knows where it is. Sometime later at Victor's casino, Tony, Kevin, and Eric are forced to work as employees, manipulating games to make the clients lose. One afternoon, when they return to their rooms, they find a plumber working in their bathroom. It turns out to be Michael in disguise, who immediately notices that Veronica is missing. The others explain that she refused to work for Victor, and has been in a coma ever since, trapped in her subconscious space after witnessing Michael's supposed death. That night, the lights flicker above the game tables as the guys surround Victor and announce they're quitting. The guards immediately take them to a storeroom, leaving a rookie to watch the door, unaware that it's actually Michael. He frees his friends and shares his knowledge of the casino to form a plan. Kevin hypnotizes a guard into using his keycard on the electronic lock, while Michael uses a stolen key to disable the elevators, leaving them stuck in the basement. The next corridor is blocked by lasers, so Michael leaves the others to handle it while he searches for Veronica. He puts on a mask he had hidden earlier and throws a gas bomb to knock out the guard, then rescues an unconscious Veronica from her room. Meanwhile, in the corridor, Tony disables some of the lasers but can't turn them all off. However, there is now enough space for Eric to carefully maneuver through them without making contact. He reaches the other side and finds the casino's safe, using his powers to force it open. As Eric works on the safe, the lasers deactivate, but they also trigger an alarm. While Michael reunites with the team, the guards attempt to reach the corridor, only to find the elevators non-functional and a hypnotized employee shooting at them. The guards quickly take him down and enter the corridor just as Eric successfully opens the safe. The team rushes inside and locks the door behind them before the guards' bullets can reach them. Outside, Victor orders his men to kill them as soon as they emerge. Inside the safe, Michael declares that their plan is doomed unless they can wake Veronica. The others warn him that entering the subconscious space without powers could be fatal, but Michael insists on doing it anyway. Kevin hypnotizes him, and Michael finds himself floating in a vast white space. Important objects from his life drift around him, accompanied by voices from the past, his mother's death, his years of illegal work, and his time in jail. Among these voices, Veronica's words echo, calling him selfish. A door appears, and Michael steps through it, falling into a vast field with multiple doors and a sky filled with beautiful colors. A storm approaches, forcing him to seek shelter behind a door. Just as the storm is about to strike him, he raises a hand, freezing it in place. With a single gesture, he sends it crashing to the ground, clearing the field. Michael sits down and thinks about Veronica. Suddenly, the ground shakes and changes, turning the field into a city. He climbs some stairs and sees Veronica looking at the colorful sky. When he tries to go closer, he finds an invisible wall around her. He hits it and calls her name, but she doesn't react. Desperate, he tries to send his thoughts to her. The city disappears, and Michael is now in an empty land with heavy rain. The invisible wall is still there, but now Veronica can hear him. She says she doesn't want to go back because no one is waiting for her. Michael tells her he is alive, but she doesn't believe him. He then shows her the memory of the day they met. The chase happens again, and when Michael appears on the rooftop, he tells her she is the only one he has. Veronica takes his hand, and they are taken back to the field of doors. They kiss before she steps through one of the doors and wakes up in real life. But since it's Michael's first time here, he has to find his own way out. A flashback shows that Gordon once taught Michael about the subconscious space. He wanted Michael to work with him so they could start a business using the doors. He also gave Michael a compass and promised to send help when the time was right. Back in the present, Michael sees Alex coming out of a door and follows him. The space changes into the casino. Together, they watch the memory of Michael's fake death. Alex puts himself and Michael inside the memory and explains how to enter someone's mind. At that moment, Michael wakes up inside the safe and tells the team they're leaving with the money. Tony unlocks the door, but the hallway is empty. While still in the subconscious space, Michael had entered Victor's mind and made him believe the team had already escaped. Victor sent his guards after them, leaving the area clear. The team easily escapes with the money and meets Alex on the beach. He has a new offer for them. While nearby, someone creates fire in their hand. 3 months later, Michael agrees to do one last job with Gordon before 2 hypnotists send them into the subconscious space. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.